Opening night football kicks off tonight on Fred TV. It's a rivalry match between Durfee and Somerset-Berkley. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massoud. Welcome to our high school sports coverage on Fred TV. I'm joined today by senior Zach Souza. He's in our Fred TV program. He also plays baseball, so we're thrilled to have him with us for the opening night kickoff for high school football. So Zach, you know, we're coming out of the spring season. You guys had a great season with baseball, came up a little short in the playoffs, but now we've turned the page to fall. It's going to be great to have football back.
High school football is just great. The atmosphere in the school is just great. Everybody's all excited for it. It should be a good game tonight.
It should. Durfee is 0-2 in the last two openers against Somerset, hoping they can turn the tides tonight. I spoke with Coach Taylor Brown at practice a couple weeks ago when they first started out their preseason preparations, and he said that preparation started really back in November, right at the end of Thanksgiving after the big win. Here's Coach.
We support three-sport athletes. We want the kids to do other sports, but we tell them that if it's not doing another sport, you're in the weight room getting better and getting ready for next season. So we do stress the importance. Coach Cruz does a wonderful job in the weight room with all the kids, and they love them, they respect them, so they work hard for us. And so the kids have been doing their due diligence in the weight room, and it shows out here.
So again, you know, being an athlete, staying fit and ready to go in the off season for the next season is very important to your success.
Yeah, it's extremely important. It's a grind too. You know, those kids are in the gym every day, getting in, lifting the weights. So they should be ready.
Well, Somerset comes in with a very tough offense. They usually go with a three-man option in the backfield, so it's tough to defend. I think it'll be a big test for the Hilltoppers tonight, probably one of the keys to the game. Durfee's starting quarterback is injured, so they're relying on a sophomore. We'll dive more into that as the game goes on. Kickoff is right around the corner on Fred TV, so stick around. Okay, folks, we are about to kick off the 2017 season here at Durfee High School. Really looking forward to tonight's game. We actually had a quick shower before we came back up to the press box. So Zach and I taped the open, and then as soon as we turned off the camera, it seemed like the skies just opened up, right?
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere, you know. Almost immediately as soon as we shut the cameras off, boom. Was a little bit of a scare for a second.
I know, but there really wasn't anything on the map, and then all of a sudden there's this little green spot. So, but rain has come and gone. I'm hopeful that we won't see any more.
No,
there was nothing else on the radar. We have partly cloudy skies, 66 degrees here on a beautiful night for football. Actually, has a bit of fall in the air, a little cool.
Nice night.
Captains are at midfield here, or they're going to be heading towards midfield for the coin toss. A couple of things we talked about in the open briefly is that, Somerset's offense is usually run through a three-option setup there in the backfield, which can really be tough to defend because you just never know who's going to get the ball. And that's proved difficult for Durfee in the past.
Yeah, Somerset runs that offense a lot. They use it throughout the game, so it's obviously a tough one to defend if they keep running it back-to-back plays.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, I mean, think about it, right? You got this triangle of players in the back that can all run, and they can pass too, believe it or not. Usually they don't even – last year, if memory serves right, they didn't even really have a set quarterback on the roster in terms of who was starting the game. They just ran the ball, and it was extremely successful in last year's opener across the river. So we'll see how Durfee handles that coming into tonight. We're assuming that's going to be – we didn't actually get a chance to talk with head coach Nick Freitas for Somerset, but we'll see what kind of package they come out with offensively. That's been their bread and butter over the last few years when we've seen Somerset.
Yeah, no pun intended. They seem to just run all over Durfee using that offense. So,
no, they do. And really, again, that's going to be something that the Hilltoppers will have to try to contain if they want to come out on top in this one, because it is very difficult. Most high school teams run the ball more than they pass it, but when you have the option where you don't know who's going to get the ball on every snap, it makes it a little more difficult to snuff it out.
Yeah, the offense can pretty much do whatever, and the defense is left questionable about what's going to come, and they got to be ready for anything.
That's exactly right. Now, for Durfee, on their offense, I mentioned that they're without Latrell Canto, who was going to be the quarterback for this year, the starting quarterback. He's a junior. He's out with a calf injury. So I don't think I wasn't told it was going to be season ending or anything like that, but he can't go tonight. So now they're relying on a sophomore at QB. It's going to be Javon Franklin. He's wearing number 10. The Hilltoppers will receive the opening kick after Somerset deferred after winning the coin toss. The Hilltoppers ready to get psyched up. You see an extended sideline for Durfee. They have some of the JV and freshman squad here as well. There's some different jerseys. So they're supporting a huge group of fans here, student body. They have a cookout for the freshmen, kind of school spirit thing before opening nights, become a nice tradition. And so everybody gathered at 5 for food, made the entrance together to the stadium. We have a really good crowd. Of course, Somerset with some fans too across the way. Not far, coming from Somerset.
10-minute drive.
Exactly. So the season about to get underway here on Fred TV. If you're watching over at Somerset on Blue Raiders Network, we welcome you as well. We look forward to hopefully doing a couple more games as the school year goes on, as we did last year, some kind of joint broadcasts. Folks may recall that during the winter we did 2 basketball games from Somerset in conjunction with them as well. So
yeah,
we're looking forward to that, and we're thrilled to be opening again a rivalry game to start the season. We'll turn it down to the field now, where our nation's colors are being brought onto the field by the NJROTC from Durfee. The Hilltopper Marching Band will play the Star Spangled Banner. A great job by the Hilltopper Marching Band, as usual. Playing the Star Spangled Banner. Always great to get the fans going. They did a bit of a pre-show as well here, a pre-game show. So, Zach, I would say that your keys to the game here tonight, one is for the Hilltoppers, get settled on offense with the new quarterback. I mean, we knew Durfee was going to have a new starting QB after Nick Salmon graduated in the spring. His coach, Taylor Brown, made the switch from Luttrell to Salmon midway through the season. But we knew Luttrell would be back. It's unfortunate that he's injured, though, and can't go on opening night. So I think the Hilltoppers, they really need to get going on offense early and try to get into a rhythm. And I would say for Somerset, or for Durfee's defense, really, they have to try to contain Somerset offensively. Somerset really has been an offensive team over the last few years.
Yeah, I would say the biggest one in that is to figure out the Raiders' offense, figure out their offense, crack it down, make them run another play, make them run another offense, make them uncomfortable.
Evan Massoud and Zach Souza, thrilled to be with you as the 2017 football season kicks off here on Fred TV. Toppers with the ball across the 30. And taken down.
It's going to be a first down and 10 from just shy of their own 20-yard line. First down and 10 Hilltoppers.
Evan, I know you said it, but I just want to reiterate it. High school football is back. Who can't be excited for this?
No, I know, really. Everybody always say Evan was, they'll always say, Evan, you're a Red Sox fan, baseball fan. And yes, in high school, I really, it was Red Sox all the time, more so than really any other sport. But I have to say, covering sports after doing baseball from basically March to August, I am thrilled to see players lining up at a line of scrimmage in the pocket. Seriously. Football is back, and really happy about it. So on first down, about a 1-yard carry by Franklin. That was a QB keeper right there. Going to bring up 2nd and 9 across the 30. They're at the 31.
The Blue Raiders was number 54, Keegan Sullivan.
The Hilltoppers coming off of the big Thanksgiving Day win, and a game that they hadn't won in really about a decade. They did it in New Bedford. The last time they won in New Bedford was my senior year in a nor'easter, in the rain. It was a mud bath. It was an incredible game, and it actually was very similar to last year's game, except for the rain part. We didn't have the rain, but the intensity, the back and forth, the big plays, it really brought back memories of my senior year. It was so exciting seeing Durfee win on Thanksgiving. Nice dive forward. That's going to be very close to a first down. It looks like, though, the ball came loose, and Somerset is jumping as if they have it. Waiting the official call, but it looks right now like Somerset will have the ball, and they do. What was a nice run. So a good rush for the Hilltoppers. He got some extra yards, kept pumping the legs, but then lost the ball, and now Somerset-Berkley will have possession in Durfee territory. So a turnover here after the second snap.
For the Blue Raiders from the Hilltopper 38-yard line.
Tough break for the Hilltoppers. You get the ball. Somerset elects to defer, give you the ball, and this is exactly what they were hoping for, a 3-and-out, or this, a fumble. And that's what they got. Now they have great field position here. First and 10 from Durfee, 38. That is an offsides for sure.
Penalty marker on the
Although now they're stopping play here, so actually maybe it'll be a false start on the offense. Usually it's a dead ball if it's a false start. So let's see. Sure looked like the Hilltoppers jumped though at the line. They might have jumped though, seeing the false start. Let's see. Yeah, they're backing them up. So it is a false start on the offense. Again, folks, really the difference there is if you're new to football, a false start at the line, it's a dead ball. They push it back. When it's offsides, play continues until the whistle is blown, until the play is dead. So 5-yard penalty backs them up. It'll be 1st and 15, and now some more raindrops. All right.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
It really did come. Oh, was that another loose ball? It looked like it got jarred loose, but I think the Blue Raiders fell on it. Should go as a loss of a yard, though. That looks like where they're going to spot it. So that actually should go as a sack. So 2nd and 16 now from the 44. Yeah, a couple drizzles. I mean, it was brief, but it came down before pregame.
Very
for
hard.
like 10 minutes. There's really big water droplets.
Yeah.
Splashing on your head. Backtracking. Now throwing on the run.
Ooh.
That was Chase Stafford. Incomplete.
Complete pass intended for number 3, Jake Meehan. For the Blue Raiders, there's a penalty marker on the field.
Oh, there is a flag. It's back at the 35. Taylor Brown just put his arms down. It looks like he's frustrated. Must be on Durfee. Pass was intended for number 3, Jake Meehan. And now that was offsides on Durfee. So it should push up 5 yards, and we'll repeat 2nd down. That was a really nice pass, too. Here we are. We're talking about how Somerset always runs the ball.
Yeah.
QB got out of the pocket and made a nice pass on the run, and it was just out of reach. Had that been completed, they probably would not have taken the penalty. That looked like another offsides, and there's another flag.
Oh, and he's
There's a good dash towards the sidelines. That was Stephen Freilich, number 21 for SB. And something tells me they may not take the penalty this time. I don't know. We'll see. So you'd have like 2nd and 6 versus 3rd and maybe 3. That's kind of an interesting call, really. You want the 2 downs to get 6 yards, or just the 1 to get 3? They have not moved.
The offsides against the Hilltoppers. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, so they're going to take the penalty, repeat 2nd down yet again. So it'll be about 2nd and 6 across the 35. So we're at the 34-yard line. The line to gain is the 28. So 2nd and 6. No flags that time. They'll run it this side, coming towards the sidelines. That was Michael Gagliardi, number 32. That should be a 1st down for the Blue Raiders.
For the Blue Raiders.
Awfully close. They may measure this.
What's the call here?
Yeah, well, they're calling a coach's timeout. They're going to call for they're going to bring the chains out and measure this, I think.
Yeah, that's very close to call with the naked eye. You
Yeah.
need the chains. It's going to be close.
What's really strange is that they're not spotting the ball in the pocket for the measurement. They're doing it on the sidelines, which is
Pretty odd.
on the Durfee sideline. I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
First down.
Oh.
1st down, Somerset.
That's really strange. That's a first. So that will move the chains, and the Blue Raiders with a fresh set of downs. And I'll tell you, parking lot is full, Zach. Look at the Somerset side. They really filled up, too. I mean, this is a great crowd. Probably the biggest crowd we'll see other than Thanksgiving, because we're hosting this year.
That should be a big crowd, too. Thanksgiving game, a very traditional game against
yeah.
the New Bedford Whalers. Everybody loves to see Favre and New Bedford go at it.
Of course. That's a century-old rivalry, and never too early to start thinking about the big game. Even though it is opening night, we can tell you that game will be live here on Fred TV, as it always is when Durfee hosts morning football on Turkey Day. About a 3-yard carry on 1st down, brings up 2nd and 7, right at the 25, actually 2nd and 6, really. 1st down marker is at the 19. And a whistle is blown. Hilltoppers call timeout.
Timeout has been taken by the Hilltoppers.
So 1st timeout for either side in the game. And things kind of slow to develop here early on, Zach. I mean, it's 7:22 on the clock here in the first quarter, and it seems like it's been a very long
possession
3-4
for the
minutes.
Raiders. Whole lot of flags getting thrown out.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of snaps and very little progress. Then we had the measurement. Now a timeout here taken by Durfee. Very slow to develop in this game right now. Everybody back to the line. Again, there is that. They're running the three-man option in the back. QB's going to take it running to the outside, has some room. He's got the first down and more, out of bounds, close to the 10.
On the carry, number 5, Chase Stafford.
That was Chase Stafford. So Chase was he was a junior last year. Again, I recognize a lot of these names. Quite a few seniors on this team. Actually, a lot of seniors on this team. Yeah, Gagliardi, I remember that name from last year as well. He was only a sophomore last year. And again, I do remember Stafford, the QB, playing, doing the quarterback options as well. So, and he really, I mean, he had a great game against Durfee last year, no question about it. And that was a good dash right there. So, 1st and 10 from the 14, and he's going to keep it again. And he is going down in the backfield, a loss of 5 for the sack. Toppers came with the blitz, and they were all over Stafford.
Looks like they were expecting it. They were all over him. He really got nowhere.
Yeah, and you know, as you were saying, it keeps running the option like that, keeps the defense really off guard and uncomfortable. You have to just guess right sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really a guessing game most of the time. And that time, Durfee guessed right. So again, you got 21. That's Stephen Freilich, another name we recognize. Stafford, the quarterback, and I believe that was number 33. No, 32, my bad. And I thought he had the ball even, and he did not.
Missed us.
That was Michael Gagliardi that we thought it was. So this is what I'm talking about. So those three will typically be in the back. That's what we're seeing early on, and this is very similar to last year.
Yep.
Gagliardi, a returner. Freilich is a senior this year. And, of course, Stafford.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball a lot with the way the Raiders run their offense.
So 3rd and long, they are in field goal range. They'll have the wind at their back, though we don't really see a lot of field goals in high school football. There's another loss of some yards as Freilich hits the turf behind the line. Should be a loss of maybe 1.
By number 57 for the Hilltoppers.
That was Lucas Roque on the tackle.
About 10.
They backed them up actually 3 yards. So they got 3 yards back, Durfee did, and they're going to go for it. 4th and 10. This is a huge play early in this game for the Hilltoppers. They get the first down. It's 1st and goal from inside the 5. They could hit the end zone on one play. I'd be ready for a pass just in case. Got a wide out on the far side. Stafford's rolling out. Looking to pass. He is going to pass. It's picked off. The Hilltoppers have it at the 5.
Intercepted by number 7.
And a flag. We'll see what happens. That's after the play, so the pick should stand.
For what it's worth, the Hilltoppers defense looks very good so far.
There's a penalty marker on the field.
Yeah, that was a really good set of downs right there.
Yeah.
Personal foul against the Hilltoppers.
Should be half the distance. Personal foul coming for Durfee. And that should back them up half the distance to the goal. Again, the pick should stand because it was after.
A 15-yard penalty. It will be a 1st down and 10 for the Hilltoppers.
So to clarify, in case you're hearing the public announcement, the PA announcer, I should say, above us, it's not a 15-yarder when you're inside 15 yards. So it'll be half the distance to the goal. And that'll be where Durfee will start, and it's going to be very deep in their own territory.
They got to get the ball out of there quick. They don't want to get tackled in the end zone.
Yeah. They got to get the ball out quick, and they got to get into a rhythm. So now, both sides on opening night have made the mistake. They've both had a turnover, okay? Durfee had the fumble. Now Somerset, they just threw the pick. We'll see if they decide to not do any passing going forward in this quarter, if they just decide to do a flat-out running game, because they had an incomplete pass down this end. It was long, and now the pick. So 2 turnovers, 1 for each side. They both made the opening night mistake, if you will. Let's see who can capitalize. Durfee made a nice play. They got the pick. They escaped damage. They got to go a long way if they want to score.
Yeah,
From
they do.
the 3, 1st and 10 for Durfee. 3 in the back with the QB. They hand it off. We have some running room here. A first down. Going to be tackled just shy of the 25-yard line. A great run there. Hard to see the numbers, unfortunately. It really is. You know, Durfee's got that gradient. It looks really cool. Red to black, it kind of fades out, but
makes it hard for
make
us.
it difficult to see. The best football jerseys, in terms of numbers and stuff, are diamonds. The black jersey with the orange numbers. Very similar to the old Hilltoppers jerseys that the JV and freshmen are wearing.
Yeah, at the
freshman
end of
team
the
are wearing.
sideline.
They stand out so good. And, I mean, at Diamond, we are about twice as high and twice as far away from the field. And I can read those numbers better than I can read these. It could also be the light placement. You know, these lights are relatively lower compared to Diamonds. We're kind of above the lights, I should say. So we're too low here, but tough to see the numbers. It's tough to make them out. No gain on first down there. Hilltoppers were stopped right at the line, and so it'll be 2nd and 10. A couple of the running backs on this team. Of course, we have Eli Concepcion. We also have David Montero, one of our Fred TV students as well. So, again, 3 in the back along with the QB, and now we have a flag on Durfee. I wonder if this is a delay of game. Nobody moved. Oh, they're saying a false start. They weren't even lined up yet. What?
It's a 5-yard penalty against the Hilltoppers.
Looked pretty still to me.
And somebody moved. Somebody did something. So it'll be 2nd and 15 now. Back them up 5. So ball spotted at the 17 of the Hilltoppers. They did get out of the end zone with that about 20-yard run on the first play of this drive. Then a no gain, and now the 5-yard penalty, so we're back 5. So 2nd and 15 from the 17. Another flag. Oh, my goodness.
It's going to be 2nd down and long.
So back-to-back flags for Durfee.
Can't have that.
No, but I'll tell you, too, that was from the whistle to them lining up, that was a pretty quick time clock.
Yeah.
Of course, there is a time clock, but we don't have a time clock on the field. So nobody can see it. The officials are keeping track just on the field. Yeah, taking a long time, though, to get to the line. So now back 10. They've lost 10 yards without even making a play. So 2nd and 20 now. We're at the 12. Got to get the ball off. They do. They'll hand it off. And little to no gain on 2nd down. David Montero just came into the game. Number 5.
It's 3rd down and long for the Hilltoppers. Ball is placed at the 10-yard line.
You see what I mean about the numbers, though. Even Somerset, right? The white with the blue. I mean, you can make the numbers out from without any problem.
Yeah, no problem at all.
But Durfee's number is very difficult to read. Well, Hilltoppers lining up with a 4 wide receiver set here. I'm assuming they're passing on 3rd down. Had a man in motion, going to throw on the run, and it is caught, but going nowhere. Oh, it just kind of stopped.
Pass was complete to number 23.
That was Tommy Lambert.
Tommy Lambert for the Hilltoppers. It's going to be a
short gain. It was looked good to start, but it just didn't amount to anything, unfortunately. And now 4th and 14, well back in their own territory. Hilltoppers have to punt the ball, and kicking into the wind. Where I think Durfee would be lucky if they get it to midfield.
Yeah. That play looked good from the start. Thomas was wide open, but just went nowhere with it. Ooh, pretty good.
Hey, that's
kick.
a good kick. Meehan is there to grab it just inside the 45. Cuts outside, and he goes out at about the 35. So that was a good kick. Credit the Hilltoppers there. It's about as far as you'd probably get it on any night, even with some of the breeze tonight. That was not a bad kick at all.
Number 5, A.B. Madreno for the Hilltoppers.
So Somerset goes back on offense. We're in a scoreless game with $1:42 on the clock here in the first quarter.
From the Hilltopper 35-yard line.
Raiders set up. Same formation as we've seen at Durfee's 35-yard line. They set Freilich in motion. He's going to get it. Oh, he's got a lot of room if he makes it by. Good tackle from the Hilltoppers. That might have just saved 6 points.
Stephen Freilich on the carry for the Blue Raiders.
It is a first down.
First down for the Blue Raiders.
That's a good tackle, though, wrapping around at the legs.
Get the legs, they can't run, right?
Exactly.
Ain't going far without your legs.
21-yard line.
So it's a 14-yard pickup. First and 10 from the 21. Low snap. Freilich gets it again. Going outside. Has some room. This time, Freilich dives
Did he make
to
it?
the end zone. Touchdown,
Oh.
Somerset-Berkley.
Good run. He had a lot of room to run.
Yeah, that time he escaped the legs, the wrap around the legs there. He got through, made a nice cut, and he was gone. Showed some speed. A 21-yard dash to the end zone from Freilich. 6-0 Blue Raiders in the first. And now we're hearing the Somerset crowd on the other side getting loud. And they will go for 2, as they usually do. And again, I mean, it's the same formation every time. We saw this with Stang when they came here. It was a couple years ago, because we haven't played Stang, I think, in maybe 3 seasons, if memory serves right.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been about two or 3 seasons.
Cut him
Stafford
down.
to the end zone. He is in, it appears, but there is a flag.
On the field.
But Stang came out and did the same exact thing to Durfee a couple years ago, and they just ran it. I don't think they passed the ball once. And I'm not even kidding. It was incredible. Offsides on Durfee. That will be declined. 2 points is good, and it is 8-0 Somerset-Berkley.
2 points are good.
So with 109 on the scoreboard and on the clock here in the first quarter, Durfee now trails. Again, both sides with turnovers, but that time the run, Durfee was not able to make the plays when they needed to.
Gives Somerset-Berkley a lot of momentum, coming in on the away stadium, scoring first. It's giving them a lot of momentum.
Well, especially, after getting the fumble on the second snap of the game, getting the ball after they deferred, they probably thought, oh, this is good. Let's go right down, and then they threw the pick. I mean, they were in the red zone on that first drive. So the fact that Durfee kept them out and they got lucky with the pickoff, Hilltoppers had a chance to capitalize, and unfortunately they weren't able to, and it was really those back-to-back penalties, the false start and the delay of game really just killed that drive. We'll see what Durfee can do on their third drive of the game as they await the kick from Matthew Shea. Another low-line drive to that far side. Let it go out of bounds, and it will be a flag.
Smart play by the receivers for Durfee.
So that will push the Hilltoppers up.
10 now for the Hilltoppers.
The progression of the ball, the penalty is from where it went out of bounds. little different than the NFL.
Hilltoppers will take the 5 yards. First down and 10 for Durfee.
You all remember, well, you would have been quite young, but in the Patriots' second Super Bowl, when they beat Carolina, that game-winning drive, which Adam Vinatieri kicked the game-winning field goal on, that game-winning drive started at the 40 because Carolina Panthers kicker kicked it out of bounds on the kickoff. So Brady had a short field to start with. Little different here in high school. That one goes back, a major loss of yards. That's not a good start to the drive. Durfee loses 10 on that play. 2nd and 20 coming up. The clock was rolling on the running play, and now it has stopped in the middle of the play calling. Coach for Somerset, Nick Freitas, on the field, not too happy about something. Two coaches talking to the Somerset, talking to one of the officials there on the sidelines for Somerset.
$47, 4-7.
Now it looks like there's an issue with the clock. And this, you know, I got to tell you, this is really, really where we need to have an official with a mic on the field.
Yeah.
Okay? Because seriously, because very few people in the crowd will know what penalties they're signaling. And then now you have an issue with the clock, and we're using our fingers to try to
Down to people in the box.
From basically 50 yards away to the press box, we're using fingers to try to tell what the clock should say.
Right.
There should be at these high school stadiums, there should be a wireless pack that the main official wears, just like in the NFL, just like in college, clipped right to their jersey. Turn it on when they need to make a statement. It comes right through the PA system. That would really clear up so many things.
So much confusion.
So 58 seconds. It was 40. We're down to 58. And I think that might be what Coach Freitas was barking about, or the coaching staff on the other side, because they were motioning towards the scoreboard.
Right.
So 2nd and 20 now. Again, what a long first quarter, huh?
It feels like it's been going on.
It's a marathon here
Forever.
on opening night. My goodness, we missed football, but we want to see it being played too. That's a great tackle. Two Somerset-Berkley players in on that tackle. We saw Stafford, the QB, playing on both sides of the ball, along with Devon Urena. Durfee picks up a couple yards. Timeout by Somerset-Berkley with 50 seconds on the clock. So, I mean, you know, when you think about it, Durfee's down 8-0, yes, but it's really the scoreboard right now. That's not bad. I mean, it's one score. This was not a pretty first quarter for either side.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's, you know, it's opening night. There's a lot of rust.
Butterflies.
Yeah, and you know, I mentioned this with in the soccer game, Durfee Diamond soccer game we did on Tuesday. That Durfee looking to pass. Nope, gonna keep it. Franklin puts the shoulder down and goes out to the sidelines. But, you know, when you're starting a season, especially the fall, when you're coming from summer and you haven't really been playing sports, yes, there is conditioning. You know that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like the game time, the minutes on the field. It's just like I compared it to NASCAR. They always say for NASCAR drivers, being, comfortable with the car and stuff, nothing beats seat time, because that's where you're feeling it. That's where you get in the rhythm and stuff like that. Same thing can be said here. The live game atmosphere, playing on the field against an opponent, there is no substitute. You can practice all you want. It's just like
nothing's going to compare.
Yeah, it's like a simulated game, right?
Yep.
You could catch a simulated game, or you could hit off of one of your teammates, but it's not going to be like facing an opponent.
Nothing at all.
Exactly. So we look at that and we say, well, I'm sure there's a considerable amount of rust here because, yes, they have been practicing, but there's only so much you can do in practice. A 4th and 13, Durfee will have to punt again, or at least that's what it appears they will do. That's a low bouncer. Oh, nice cut back, but going down. Not going down easily, though. Chase Sharves made, he got that tackle going, took down Meehan. Meehan is he's a big guy, 5'10". I mean, he looks bigger than that, though. I'll tell you, it was tough to take down.
First down and 10 from the 47.
So 21 seconds here to play in the first quarter. And Somerset already leading 8-0. They will take over in Durfee territory again. Every drive that they've had has started in Durfee territory. Then, of course, we'll switch sides at the end of the quarter. Gotta love the enthusiasm, right?
Oh, it's the game. It's almost like the game outside of the game. The two student sections going at it. It's awesome, showing their pride.
Of course. Really happy to see such a good crowd, though, like for both sides. I mean, you knew Durfee was going to bring it because of the cookout and stuff like that. The school spirit. It's the first game. It was a nice day, but having Somerset, really show up too. I mean, this is
made it that much better.
Yeah, a full stadium here is what it's about. So, hey, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter here on the first night of football at the high school level. Blue Raiders lead the Hilltoppers 8-0 after one. And the good news is that at the 45, they only got to go 10 yards to make the switch.
Yeah.
To go the other direction. So 11 minutes in the books, another 11 on the scoreboard, ready to go for quarter number 2.
First quarter was a long 11 minutes.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, this game kicked off on time, and we've been playing over half an hour. So right now you're looking at 3 minutes for every minute of play. That's a long time.
That's a very long time.
That's a long time. But again, we saw a lot of flags.
A lot of stoppage of play.
Yeah, we saw some timeouts. So that it dragged on. But now here we are, ready to rock. So at the snap, the clock will start. Somerset-Berkley with it. They hand it off to number 32. That's Michael Gagliardi, and he does not go very far. Maybe a pickup of. Actually, it was a good run. He got pushed back, but forward progress gave him about 5 yards. So
about 5. Third down and about 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5. But so far, we've seen basically no variation in the formation for Somerset-Berkley, running into a wall of Hilltoppers, and that will be short of the first down, maybe only a yard on that run. So brings up 4th and 4. This is kind of an interesting spot here because we have a player slow to get out. Actually, that was the player who ran the ball. That was Freilich. And Freilich is down at the moment.
Looks to be in some really serious pain.
Yeah, he might have landed funny. I mean, he ran into a wall, and everybody just fell like almost right on him. And then, of course, when you're holding the ball, you fall on the ball, too. That's not very pleasant. Oh, he
looks very slow to get up.
He can't stand. Like his knee or his leg, something buckled there almost, like he couldn't stand. Can't put pressure on. Maybe an ankle. Because, you know, oh, he's okay now. All right. Well, that's good.
Well, that's good. You never want to see somebody get hurt.
No.
No matter who you're rooting for.
Exactly. No, that's good. So.
Seems to be limping off the field, though, now we see.
You know, if it's a knee, that you always see the trainer right away just kind of stretching it a little bit on the field. They didn't do that, so I wonder if maybe it was an ankle, if he rolled an ankle or something. Nonetheless, a 4th and 4. Not 14. 4th and 4 from the 41. They will go for it. Stafford with it. Has a ton of room on the far side. Fakes a pass. First down.
Good run.
Just barely got across it. They bought the pass just enough to back off. And that first down will go. A 4th down conversion for Somerset-Berkley. It turns out to be about a 5 or 6 yard run.
Somerset-Berkley is giving Durfee pretty much what they should have expected. A lot of running. A lot of running.
From the 34-yard line.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 34. The Blue Raiders are on the move. Oh, nice handoff up the middle, staying on his feet, still forging ahead across the 15 was Michael Gagliardi. Stafford handed that ball off. Gagliardi was already almost like a full yard and a half in front of him. They faked it to the side, and then he kind of almost like tossed it in front. Great run from Gagliardi right there. He gained at least 5 or 10 yards after he was touched. Continuing to push ahead. So Somerset-Berkley in the red zone now. Looking to strike for touchdown number 2. Low snap. Stafford runs into a wall.
Picks him up and drives him a good yard and a half back.
That was quite a tackle right there, because for a second it looked like Stafford was going to make a beeline for the end zone, and then
that almost came up out of like nowhere. I wasn't expecting that at all.
And he was thoroughly denied.
No entry.
So that was we'll say a 2 or maybe a little more than a 2 yard pickup. So second and a long 7, let's call it. A little behind the 10. That is Freilich.
Number 21.
And he is just short of the end zone.
Looks to be okay with that run.
Yeah.
It's a 3rd down, about 2 yards needed.
So 3rd and 2 from the 5.
7-yard line. 3rd down for the Blue Raiders.
At the 5 yard line. 3rd and 2. You know, this is the point where, all right, 3rd and 2, really, but, I mean, it's basically 3rd and goal from the 5. You're just going to go for the end zone here.
Number 21, Stephen Freilich.
Doesn't look like he made it.
Looks like he was just short of the goal line.
Yeah, the question now is, did they get the first down? Because, like, again, with a 3rd and 2, you're in the 5. You just go for the end zone. It's just not.
There's no first down pass, first down run. You're just going for it.
Yeah, because you know what? You're going to go for it on 4th down, 2, without a doubt. So you just.
High school football, you won't see a lot of those field goal attempts for the 3 points.
Yeah. They are going to go for a measurement here.
Looks short from up here.
Of course, we got a tough angle.
Yeah. Looks short.
It is a first down. Oof. 1st and goal from inside the 3.
It's going to be a first down and goal. Need about 2 yards. Do the Blue Raiders.
Ooh! Taken back for a loss of yards. Big tackle there for the Hilltoppers. That looked like Lucas Roque again, 57.
57 for the Hilltoppers.
He's been all over them this game.
And about 5.
That was a big play, so now it backs up Somerset-Berkley to the 5. Second and goal from the 5. Coach Taylor Brown with some more words for the officials. Not happy right now.
He's furious.
He is not happy.
He is. Whew.
Yeah, he's pretty hot. He's pretty hot right now. I didn't see anything on that last play that stuck out. Gonna run it again. Denied again.
Lucas Roque again.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like, okay, the enthusiasm's great. He's trying to pick up the team, but you gotta kind of bring it down a little bit because it's only third down, and you're gonna get called on, you know, too much celebrating your unsportsmanlike conduct if you continue to do that.
You can't be too risky.
You have to just, you know, tone it back a little bit.
He's really been all over the Somerset-Berkley right now this possession.
Very impressed by Lucas Roque's play right now. Sidelines trying to get the crowd loud here, and it'll be a timeout.
Timeout taken by the Blue Raiders. 6 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in the first half.
But yeah, Lucas Roque, how about these couple tackles we've seen? Outstanding defensive plays.
Not allowing any easy runs to the red zone.
Not at all. But again, you have to guess right. That's another thing.
With their offense, yeah.
Yeah. And now that time, these last 2 runs, they've tried to plug it right up the middle. They go outside, you can't say that he's going to catch you. So you got to be able to guess right on it as well, and it's all player instincts, you know.
Yeah.
But very impressed, though. Some big stops here. We got third down and goal from the 5.
So it's going to be third down and 5.
I would be surprised to see them try to run it up the middle a third time in a row here. I have a feeling they're going to try to roll out to the left side. Let's see. No, they're going to pass it. And does he have it? He was under it, but did he control the ball? It is a touchdown. They passed it. Can you believe that?
Not
a 5-yard touchdown pass from Matt Stafford. And Somerset-Berkley goes up 2 scores.
Coach Brown is still very hot after that.
Yeah, something happened on that first stop, on the first and goal. Something happened on that play that we obviously missed.
Yeah.
You know, I turned and just checked the scoreboard real quick to see where the time was at here. And by that point, he was taking the headset off and going one-on-one with the official. So something happened that he did not like. But nonetheless, this just happened that I'm sure he doesn't like either. Somerset-Berkley has grabbed another. That's another offsides for Durfee. So if they can't convert, Somerset will have the chance. I think that was caught by a Hilltopper, but
there was a penalty marker on the
they may have the opportunity to go for this again. Now, Hilltopper's caught offsides on the 2-point conversion. So Somerset-Berkley should get another opportunity here.
If you're Durfee right now, you can't let Somerset-Berkley or any team they play in the future get extra possessions than they have already.
To the goal.
No, you can't.
Can't
And
give
the
any
thing is
team extra
that
chances.
they did make the stop. So now, but now they get another chance at it. Durfee did make the stop initially, but now another shot. They'll go for 2. Half the distance to the goal. No flags. They're going to run it, and they give it to him. They say he got in.
The extra 2 points are good.
It's another 2-point conversion, and that makes it 16-0 Somerset-Berkley here in the second quarter.
Looked for sure that they stopped him quite short.
Yep. Well, again, though, all you got to do is break the plane, and we're at a 45-degree angle here. This is a tough angle to even make that judgment. So, 2 officials right on the line. We'll take their word for it. I think part of it was, he got jolted back so quickly.
All you need to do is break the line.
Exactly, yeah, and that, that's so tough to tell from up here. So 16-0. Somerset-Berkley has scored on their last 2 drives. The Hilltoppers desperately need some points. Blue Raiders will get the ball to begin the second half. So Hilltoppers desperately need some points on this drive. They've got to figure it out offensively. What we're seeing defensively from Somerset is nothing too tricky. No fake plays, no trickery, if you will.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's just a straightforward defense. The Hilltoppers got to get something going offensively here and make this drive count. Don't want to fall behind by possibly 3 scores and then have to give the ball up to start the third quarter. Shea will kick the ball away from the 40. This one a ground ball picked up at the 35. Breaking towards the 40. Oh, tripped up. Thought he had a hole and then tripped up for the Hilltoppers. Looks like 24.
Number 24, Jaslyn DeSilva.
It was.
On the recovery for the Hilltoppers. First down and 10.
It was Jaslyn DeSilva, number 24, who fielded that ball on the bounce. And only got a couple yards out of it. Looked like he was going to be able to cut in, and then just lost his footing and got tripped up. So Durfee will have fairly decent field position, but they will have to start in their own end, on their own side of the field. From the 38, 1st and 10 Hilltoppers, about 6.5 to play before halftime.
Certainly enough time to get 1, if not 2 scores back.
Yeah, I would settle for 1 right now and be very happy with that.
Yeah.
Just try to eat some time off the clock, actually get into a rhythm, sustain a drive, and put 6 or 8 up on the scoreboard. Durfee rarely kicks as well. They usually go for the 2 points. So, get the 6, you cut it to 10, and then hopefully you cut it to just the 1 score, and you've left Somerset with little to no time.
Yeah, you don't want to go into the locker room at halftime with a 0 on the board.
No, not at all. So that was a good dash on first down. It was a long 4, so 2nd and less than 6, we'll say. There's no in-between yards. You can't say half a yard. It's very difficult. It's 1.5 feet, but it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Half of an odd number. Now you get into decimals, you get into, no. But that was another decent run, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
Number 28, Eli Concepcion on the carry. It's a 3rd down, 3rd and 3 from about the 45.
And when there's no stoppages in play, it's amazing how quick the time will roll, because now we're already down to 5. 5 minutes to play in the half. So, big 3rd down here for Durfee. Got to get to the 48. So almost at midfield. The ball's at the 45. 3 yards to go for the first. Quarterback keeper going to get wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Going nowhere.
On the carry there was number 10.
Franklin could not get through.
Fourth down. And about 3.
Tough call if you Coach Brown here. I mean, you don't want to give the Blue Raiders back the ball with if they punt it, they could basically run all the way up the field and kill the clock, and then you don't get the ball back. Or you go for it on 4th and 3 here, and you give Somerset a short field, but it's basically what they've had all game. And I actually like the play call here, 4th and 3.
Got to be aggressive. Got to go for it.
Got to get that first down, and he's not gonna. Stops right at the line again.
28, Eli Concepcion on the carry.
Turnover on downs for the Hilltoppers.
First down and 10 now for Somerset.
That did not pay off.
Ball's placed at the 46-yard line.
Tough break for Durfee there. They really needed to sustain a drive, and
that was a gamble.
They could not get a first down. Turns out to be a 4 and out, as they say. So now with 4:10 on the clock, Blue Raiders with another short field. But again, this is actually about as long of a field as they had all night. They have, as I said earlier, they haven't started a drive in their own side of the field. It's all been in Durfee territory. This one just after midfield. So from the 46 of Durfee, 1st and 10, Blue Raiders. Gonna pass it. And it is.
The pass was complete.
It is reeled in.
To number 27, Nicholas Viveris for the Blue Raiders.
So Nicholas Viveris coming down with it. He had to lunge for it. It looks like he overran the route a little bit, but that's why I wasn't sure if he caught it, if he was still under it when he went to the ground, but makes the catch. That turns out to be just shy of a 20-yard reception there. A little spin move off the line of scrimmage for a couple yards.
Didn't look to get much.
No, not much. Maybe even just the one. I'll tell you, though, if Somerset starts passing the ball and continues to have success, that's going to make it for a long night for Durfee.
Yeah.
Because the running game is already
They're running
devastatingly
extremely
tough.
well.
Yeah. It's very difficult. Actually saying no gain on that last snap. So 2nd and 10 from the 28. Yeah, Stafford going down with a loss of more than 10.
That was a good defensive effort by the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, and it looked like he wanted a pass, but they are holding him on his passing side.
They were all over him.
They
all
were.
over Stafford.
Now, interestingly enough, they're marking him 5 yards closer than where he went down. I don't think I heard an early whistle, but last check, if you're sacked, it's where you went down. So that's interesting to me there. Maybe there was an early whistle, which they should not have been. Stafford passing. Wide open.
Number 32.
Pass was completed to number 32.
That was Gagliardi.
For the Blue Raiders. It is a 4th down.
So it'll be 4th and 11.
4th down and 10, ball at the 29.
Gagliardi wide open there. No one around him.
Yeah, it was a really good fake, rolling out to one side and then having him just sitting there waiting for it. It almost worked against Somerset because
that was a tough pass for Stafford to make.
Yeah, there were a few Hilltoppers, coming right in his face, so he kind of made that pass blindly. Really good job by Stafford to stick with it. So 4th and 11. 90 seconds to play in the first half. And now a timeout called. So actually 91 seconds. Sorry. 1:31 to be exact to play here in the first half. Blue Raiders trying to go up by 3 scores before halftime.
That would put the Hilltoppers in a very deep hole to crawl out of coming out in the second half.
Yeah, especially since they won't be getting the ball.
Yeah. Somerset-Berkley electing to kick the ball off really could work to their favor in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming out of the timeout, 4th and 11 for the Blue Raiders. Stafford rolling out, passing to the end zone, looking for, oh my goodness, there is a flag, but it is a touchdown regardless. Meehan came down with it.
That was a tremendous catch.
29-yard pass to the end zone. And it's a 3-score game. The flag really doesn't matter. It's going to probably be pass interference anyway.
Somerset has declined the penalty.
So 22-zip in favor of Somerset here on Durfee's home turf. They blew Durfee out last year. And then 2 years ago here, they won. It was, I think, 20-6. It wasn't like a major blowout. It's got a lower scoring game. Last year, they threw up over 30 points on the Hilltoppers at Somerset. And this year,
last year was ugly.
Yeah, well, this is even uglier right now, to be honest. 22-0, and they're going to get the ball. Stafford, does he break the plane? No signal yet.
Nothing. Talk about it.
Looks like it's a no. So 22-0. Somerset-Berkley leads here on opening day, or opening night. And now Coach Brown talking with the officials again. He is not happy with this. Something he's seeing, and he is not pleased. And now the official barking back, and he's got to be careful that he's going to end up getting a flag if he doesn't stop. Now, people see the coach, when you're watching an opposing team, so like say for the Somerset people watching Coach Brown, you're losing. Now you see Coach Brown getting into it with the officials again, and I'm sure the mantra or the thought process is like, oh, the coach is complaining again because they're losing. Let me tell you something. Taylor knows football.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Taylor won a Super Bowl. He played under Coach Winarski. Taylor knows football probably just as good as anybody else on that field, better than anybody else on that field, I should say. And he is seeing something that is not pleasing him at all. And I'm not just talking about the scoreboard. There's something going on that he's seeing and picking up on that he is not pleased with.
Couldn't make him out clearly, but you could hear him from up here.
Oh, yeah, he was
official.
yelling.
Yeah.
He's not happy at all.
Not at all.
That's a great kickoff, by the way. Almost to the 10. Protect that ball going down the sidelines. Okay. Hey, nice run back. That's a late hit. There's a personal foul. There's your flag.
Was expecting that.
David Montero with the run.
Go, David.
Yeah, and that and that should be another personal foul. That's unnecessary roughness there. That's a late
There was no
hit.
need for that. He was out of bounds already.
Yep, so that should be a 15-yard penalty.
Should put the Toppers in very good field position.
It would push them across midfield.
It's a personal foul against Somerset. It's a 15-yard penalty.
So the Hilltoppers are going to start on Somerset's side of the field for the first time tonight. With 75 seconds to play, they got to go into the 2-minute drill here and make some quick plays happen. A lot of times when you do no huddle, they'll call back-to-back plays, so you limit the time coming to the sidelines. So a lot of times, like Coach Brown, they'll give the QB 2 plays. This play and then the next one, and then maybe you call timeout, right? So let's see how they go. From the Somerset 45, Durfee hoping to get on the board. They'll pass it. There is a flag.
He's
First
gone. He's
down
running.
and more, down to the 25. But again, there's a flag down the field. Could be defensive holding. And it looks like it is going to be defensive holding. When it's off the line, it's usually
almost always.
It's usually going to be defensive holding. And it is.
Maybe this is going to be the turning point for the Hilltoppers. They can use this to this advantage.
We'll see. So, again, trying to figure out penalties, right? If there's a flag right after the snap, it's usually offensive holding on this side or an offsides. Offsides are clear, you'd see it. And then if it's down the field, if it's on the D, it's defensive holding.
Big thing here for the Hilltoppers inside 2 minutes going through the 2-minute drill is just stop the clock, catch the ball, get out of bounds.
Yeah, and I'm actually I did not realize that they roll the clock off even after the penalty stopping in play, but they are under the 2 minutes here. So we're going to pass again. That is complete.
To get out.
And he doesn't get out of bounds, but that's okay.
Still in good possession.
Time has stopped. They got to put the ball. They got to place the ball.
Second down.
Close to the first.
Seconds remaining.
Now a timeout for the Hilltoppers.
Timeout has been taken by the Hilltoppers. They will take their full team timeout.
My years covering, we've when they've passed the Hilltoppers, they've done okay with the passing game. Always been more of a running team. But I will say, when they've passed, yes, you see some picks. Of course, you're going to see picks in high school.
Yeah.
Okay? You will see interceptions.
That's a norm.
But when Durfee is needed to pass, it seems, over the years, in situations where they're trying to get, like this, for example, under 2 minutes, they're pressing a bit. We just saw two completions in a row. It's giving Somerset something else to think about. And it always seems like the Hilltoppers take a while to switch from just running to maybe throwing the ball a little bit. And for me, whatever you can establish on offense, regardless of what team you are, is what you should go for. The running game has not worked for Durfee at all.
You got to use what's working for you.
And now you see two passes.
Working.
Yeah, you see two passes, going for 3 in a row, going to take a shot at the end zone, and it is picked off. Or incomplete. No, it's been complete.
Looks like a Durfee Hilltopper has picked the ball up.
Yeah, but it was in and out of the hands of Somerset.
That's better than a pick.
It is, yeah. So Durfee gets a break there. But look, so you're taking a chance at the end zone. You had 2 passes. You got to give the opponent something else to think about on defense.
Yeah.
If you're going to run the ball all night, see, unless you got a running game like Somerset does, with that style, 3 guys are the beasts that can just run it and they can change it up constantly. A traditional running game is tough to establish, even at the pros. Never mind,
any level.
Never mind in high school.
Yeah.
You have to be able to complement that, whatever your main game plan is, with something else. And I like seeing the passing here. Incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 3. It stopped the clock. This is a test for Franklin. He gets rid of it. First down and out of bounds. First and goal for the Hilltoppers. So 3 for 4 passing over the last 4 snaps. That's not bad.
They're looking like an entirely different offense than we've seen earlier in the game. Look to be more focused.
I said first and goal. I thought that he went out of bounds inside the 10. That's my error. It's actually 1st and 10 from the 11. So 11 yards to go. 26 on the clock. Plenty of time to score. Now you got the Blue Raiders defense spread out a little bit. They're not sure what's coming. It's picked off. Still on his feet, Nicholas Viveris could go all the way. Tripped up at the 35. Devastating. Hilltopper, whoever the intended receiver was, he changed his route, went the other way, and Viveris was standing there looking at Franklin, waiting for the ball to come his way. So a real tough break there for Durfee. That one hurts. First pick of the night for the Hilltoppers, 2nd turnover.
Timeout has been taken by the Hilltoppers.
Durfee takes a timeout here with 12 seconds in the half. And you got to hope that Somerset doesn't pull some big play out of their bag of tricks to get one more touchdown here, because 12 seconds is a lot of time to maybe take a couple shots down the field.
Especially where they're out on the field.
Yeah, they're going to be at about the 33. Man, that one hurts for Durfee.
Franklin threw it pretty much right at
Somerset. That's what I'm saying.
Right
I think that the receiver
someone got crossed up.
He missed. Yeah, I think that he missed the route, or he cut in too soon. Something happened there, because the intended receiver was in the line of the ball, and then he cut in.
Yeah.
He made a cut, which I don't think was the plan. No.
Or I don't think was supposed to happen. So here we go.
That's a tough one.
It is. 12 seconds to play in the half. Blue Raiders will line up. They're going to go for a play. Stafford with it, looking to pass. Going to take a shot at the end zone. Are you kidding me? Have a day, Stafford. One play. Freilich catches it. It's a 33-yard pass. That's a 28-0 score. This one's become a laugher here. And what I told you, 12 seconds is more than enough time. That's capitalizing on a mistake right there.
Absolutely. They left Freilich wide open. Wide open.
But this is what I'm saying. So now you established a running game. You ran it down Durfee's throat practically for the first quarter and half of the second quarter?
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, you're throwing the passing game in here. Hey, Stafford can hold his own. He can pass too. Oh, boy. So now you got double threat from Somerset the rest of the night. They go for 2 to make it an even 30. And it looks like he's not going to get in. So it will be a true football number, 28. 4-touchdown lead for Somerset as we head into the half. And I won't speak too soon and say that's exactly what it'll be, because who knows, Durfee could run it back. We always try to stay positive here. It's high school football, you know. The bad news is that while I didn't think too many could look worse than the Patriots did on opening night, sadly, the Hilltoppers do not look very good right now. And it's a shame, because that last drive, they looked like they actually found a bit of a rhythm.
They looked pretty good.
Yeah, then you
Just
had the
killed it
pick,
all.
and this game very easily could be 22-6 or 22-8. Instead, it's 28-0, and that's that hurts big time.
Oh, yeah.
This is my 6th season doing high school football, and I can tell you those first couple seasons, there were some when Durfee had that long losing streak, 27 games in a row, the winless season. I mean, it was ugly, and it was a game. You know, there were games like this. It was very, very ugly. And believe me, I'm not saying Durfee's going to go with winless, because that's not what I'm saying by any means. They will win games. Okay.
Yeah, they have a very talented roster.
They do. But I will say that, I mean, there was one game we did. It was a Brockton game. I think we lost 59-0. Like, I'm just like, yeah.
Wow.
Like, really.
Bully ball.
You're watching the clock try to wind down because it was such a long night. So the clock says 0. Says all zeros, but there was 1 second, and I don't know if they rolled it off by accident, but there is going to be one play here. It was 1 second on the clock, so Durfee will have to do one play. It's not halftime yet. There's mass confusion again. All of Somerset was on the field. I think they thought they were going into halftime. 2 seconds on the clock to be official.
Do you go for broke here if you're Durfee and just go deep?
Well, as long as you have time to. Well, Franklin has a little bit of room, but going to get taken down after the first down. It won't matter so much.
That is the end of the first half, going into halftime. Somerset
So,
Raiders 28.
a very
Hilltoppers
tough first half. And Durfee is going to have a ton of work to do.
Oh, yeah.
If they even want to make this one even close. 28-0 on opening night. Not the start that anybody here would have expected on opening night. Big crowd for Durfee. Nobody's left. Wouldn't expect them to. They're always here to the end, regardless of the score. We'll have the third quarter next on Fred TV. Third quarter about to begin here at Mac Aldridge Field. You see the score. Not pretty for the Durfee fans. Somerset-Berkley up 28-0 on opening night here at Durfee. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you here from high atop the press box. I mean, at least it's a nice night, Zach. I mean, we had a little bit of rain earlier, but it's cleared up. It's a really nice night. Let's recap the scoring here. In the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, Freilich took it in from 21 yards out. The 2-point conversion was good for SB. 8-0 the score. In the second quarter, 3 touchdowns, all passing touchdowns. For Stafford, a 5-yarder plus the 2 points, a 29-yarder with no 2-point conversion, and then a 33-yarder that ended the first half. That made it 28-0. So, bottom line, Hilltoppers have to be better in every aspect to even make this a game. And it's going to be hard to try to figure this out as Devin Urena just took that to receive back deep. He just took it back across the 30. You know, Somerset established the passing game in that second quarter. So now the devastating running game with the 3-man option, same formation every snap. Now they're passing the ball. That's, I mean, now you got a double-edged sword.
What are you going to do if you're Durfee?
Exactly. This is like,
you don't know what's going to come.
It's almost impossible to defend. You have 3 guys that can run it furiously, and then you have a quarterback that is passing the ball and scoring because of those passes. So it's going to be a long second half for Durfee if they can't get something going both defensively and offensively. First play from scrimmage for the Blue Raiders is about a 3-yard pickup. You're watching this high school sporting event on Fred TV and over in Somerset Blue Raiders Network as well. We want to welcome you all into this game over at Somerset. If you're getting to see it. Again, we had a great crowd on hand tonight, so if you didn't get to see it here live and watching it now, we're glad you tuned in. Short run there on second down brings up 3rd and 5.
37-yard line, 3rd down.
Third and 5 would be a huge stop for Durfee here to force a 3 and out. Rolling out to this side here. Oh, he missed the tackle. There is a flag, and he is short of the first down. Gagliardi was not able to get to the line to gain, it appears. Now we'll wait and see what the flag is. Might have been a hold on the offense. So
there's a block in the back against the Blue Raiders.
So they're going to back him up. See, now this is where, right, you think of the strategy. This is where you take the penalty. It could have been 4th down. It would have been 4th and inches. Somerset's going to go for that. Now you back them up 10 yards. You replay 3rd down. And now they're further back down the field. So now you're going to have 3rd and 12 because it's from the spot of the foul as well. So it's not from the line of scrimmage. Spot of the foul, 10 yards. 3rd and 12.
The 30-yard line.
That makes a big difference from 4th and inches.
Yeah, it does. It gives them a lot more field than they need to cover.
Yeah, you could argue that now maybe they'll pass because there's a little more room here. They got to make a longer play, but they wrapped him up behind the line of scrimmage. Big defensive play right there. That should be a 3 and out. Doubt you'll see Somerset go for it here. 4th and 14.
Yeah, that's a long way to go.
You can see on the sidelines here, our trainer, Kelly Mahoney, tending to one of our players. Number 15. We actually don't have number 15 at the moment listed here, so. There is the punt. Rolling down to the 30, stopped at the 29. That's a great punt. Yeah, there's a flag in the back here, though, right from about where it was kicked. Actually, there's 2 flags, one on the near side and one on the far. So either they were thrown simultaneously or we're going to have offsetting penalties. Offsides and a false start. Yeah, offsetting penalties. And I think maybe there was another one. They might be re-kicking here.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up to re-kick.
Yeah. We saw an offsides and we saw a false start.
Due to the 2 penalties, they were both offset.
And they'll re-kick. So we'll replay the down.
It will remain a 4th down and long.
I believe that is Montero back to, oh no it's not, I'm sorry. Trying to receive it.
And the ball's going to die about the 40. There is another penalty mark.
Oh, another flag way in the back. Actually, it looks like it's in the same spot as the last one. And we'll see if this is against Durfee because they just got 10 yards back pretty much. That kick 10 yards shorter. It looks like they're going to re-kick it again, but this time with the loss of yards.
3rd time's a charm.
I guess. It's a false start, a 5-yard penalty.
The offsides is against the Blue Raiders. It will be a 5-yard penalty. It will remain a 4th down.
So they back him up to almost the 20. They'll kick it from the 15. That's another great punt. They gained 3 yards on that kick.
1st down and 10 from about the 43-yard line.
Dave Wynn-Malave was back there, back deep. He did not field it, let it bounce. So the Hilltoppers really in the end gained, thanks to the penalties and the re-kicks, basically gained about 14 yards from where that initial kick landed. So that's not too bad.
It could be worse.
So Durfee will take over their own 42-yard line with 8:04 to play in the 3rd. It's about 3 minutes gone here in the 2nd half.
3 minutes to get that kickoff.
I know, really. Those are the things that slow up the game. So they had to punt it 3 times. Hilltoppers with a different formation. They do run it, and whistles blown.
Stoppage of play. Yep.
There was a timeout just before the snap. Wow, that was close. They got that just barely in, the timeout, because it's almost simultaneous.
Yeah.
Maybe Coach Brown didn't like the play call, or there's something he saw, or maybe wanted to make a personnel change. Something. There was something he saw he didn't like. And they changed it up. So we'll go back to the line this time. So we await the first snap of this drive. And again, set up 3 wide receivers on the near side. 1 in the backfield next to Franklin. They hand it off, faking the pass, and I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage. He just barely got there. Really thought they were going to pass.
20, Eli Concepcion on the carry for the Hilltoppers. It's a 2nd down.
Someone's on the ground. Can't make out who it is
Yeah,
yet.
one of the Hilltoppers laying on the ground, slow to get up.
Trainer Kelly Mahoney's got her hands full, working on stretching out somebody on the sideline.
Yeah. Kelly making her way out now. Everybody kind of tight and hurting right now on opening night. Looks like that might be Lucas Roque, number 57. Don't want to lose him. That's what our cameraman Gary Lee is saying. He was able to see it through the lens. tough to see the number anyway, so we won't post any blame if that's incorrect. Because of course, again, we're not doing this with monitors here. We don't have we're not in a press box, in a booth. We're doing this, the raw, old-fashioned way, out in the elements with the one-camera shoot. And I have to be honest, I'd rather be outside. Even when it gets cold, I'd rather be outside than down inside the press box where there's people walking around.
Oh, it's tight in there. It's a tight squeeze.
Exactly. There's no room to work. You have the window, the pillars of the windows and the window frames blocking your view. You're looking through glass. Then the open window. Oh, it's
a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's not great. I love being up top and outside. It's a clear view. But as I said, the angle, you have some glare from the lights. It is tough to tell the numbers. It's definitely tough to read the numbers with the naked eye. And taking a while to get back up. This is not good. Again, injuries are part of the game. You hate to see someone get hurt. Getting to his feet.
Well, seems to be walking off on his own. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Getting a light jog.
Maybe he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him. Not even seeing a limp, but I think that is Roque, though, 57, right? That's 57, yeah, so we'll see. See if he's going to head to the bench or if he's just going to. Well, he's not even going to the bench, so he'll just probably sit out for a couple plays, and then he can get back in there. Second and 10. We resume play. There goes another 3 minutes. A long injury timeout there. All right, he is heading to the bench now. Gonna pass. This could be trouble, and it is another pick.
Pass is intercepted by number 2,
Devon Urena with the pick. Third turnover for the Hilltoppers. Second pick for the Blue Raiders.
First down and 10 from the 37.
They threw it into double coverage, and
somebody's down again.
The intended receiver for Durfee is down. But anytime you throw into double coverage, it's not going to end very well. Now there is an ambulance driving into the parking lot here. So we'll see. I wonder if it's. I don't think it would be any one of the players. Maybe there is a medical emergency somewhere in the stands. That's not good. We didn't see anybody come off the field that was critically injured or anything on a play. So this is an interesting development as well. Live sports, you just never know what you're going to get. Good to see Lucas Roque, though, standing on the field of play now. So he is back out. That is a good sign. Again, tough to see who that is on the ground for Durfee.
From the looks of it, it looks like number 7, A.B. Medrano. He looked to be the intended receiver.
Yep.
Oh, he's in pain.
Yeah, that's A.B. Medrano, you're right. And he's
in a lot of pain.
He's hurting.
That is not good for the Hilltoppers.
Nope. Might have blown out a knee. He leaped back to catch it, and then he fell down late. Like he didn't come down cleanly. He definitely came down awkwardly. Medrano is up. And actually walking under his own power. But definitely slow moving, that's for sure. And a noticeable limp. So we'll check him out as well. Tough night for Durfee, man, I'll tell you. Now with some of these injuries and stoppages, they're kind of dropping like flies out there. Really not good. So after the pick, we just had the interception. Somerset-Berkley taking over. And that is Freilich, good for a first down.
He's having a day.
Yeah, he really is. And he had a great game last year against us as well.
Number 21, Stephen Freilich on the carry. It's good enough for another Blue Raider first down.
So they move the chains, 1st and 10. About midfield. They'll cross midfield with the run. Gain of about 7.
Number 32, Michael Gagliardi on the carry for the Blue Raiders.
So evidently the ambulance was not player-related, or we'll assume was not player-related because it never came onto the field. It is behind the visitors' stands in the parking lot, so something happened there. Just hope to God that, like, nobody got hit by a car or anything like that. This parking lot is kind of,
it's packed.
Yeah, and it's kind of treacherous when it's jammed and at night. And part of it too is that you have people that park in the fire lane along the sidewalk, and that's not enforced for whatever reason.
Should be.
And yeah, and
not supposed to park there for a reason.
Exactly. So that causes more congestion. I mean, the parking lot is quite crazy when it's packed. I mean, and this is a full house. This is more packed.
The lot is full.
Yeah, this is more packed than even during school because here everybody's coming just for this. At school we have a number of lots here on on the campus.
Big campus.
Yeah. 3rd and 4 coming up. Set the runner in motion. They fake the handoff, go up the middle, put the shoulder down, grabbed a few more. First down for the Blue Raiders.
The Sports Boosters are holding a 50-50 raffle. If you'd like to pick up your tickets, you're happy to do so. You can do so at the concession stand, and there's also people walking around with tickets as well. So if you'd like to partake in the 50-50 raffle, the winner will be announced in the 4th quarter.
So another first down for the Blue Raiders, and I'll tell you, Zach, they're just marching down the field.
Looks like they're playing with practice dummies. They're just running right through people, getting up the field.
Yeah, they're running. And again, this is what stood out for me last year. The running game for Somerset-Berkley is so tough to defend, and it looks like Durfee's defense is really getting overwhelmed. I mean, the offense has not been on the field for very many minutes in this game. It's been mostly Somerset-Berkley on offense.
And that's never a good sign if you want to win a game.
Exactly. And what that does is it really wears down your defense. Durfee's D has been out there a long time. They have absorbed a lot of minutes of play tonight on the field.
First down for the Blue Raiders.
It is a first down, another one. They'll move the chains again. One thing the running game does do with the score the way it is it does allow the game to keep moving, the clock to continue to roll. So we're coming down on 3.5 to play in the third, and it seems like just a couple minutes ago we were at the 7 or 8 minute mark. So things really tend to move quickly when you have drives like this that are efficient, that you run the ball, you're staying in bounds, you're moving the chains. You can take a lot of time off the clock.
That's what they're doing.
That's exactly what they're doing. So
they're doing it pretty well, too.
Yeah, a couple yards here. The next snap will probably come under 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're milking the clock now.
59, Richard Cabral.
But that's what you do. I mean, basically you go up, you got the big lead, right? And now you play clock management, and that is that as long as we have the ball, as long as we can get first downs, we're going to just take our time and not allow the opponent to get back in it, meaning Durfee. So it's really, I mean, that's the game plan. That's how you do it. That is just textbook football with a lead, you know.
Something no matter where you go, every football team will do.
Yeah, of course. Unless your coach is Andy Reid. Oh, I'm sorry.
Too soon.
Too soon. Yes, I know. The Chiefs beat the Pats, but we all know how bad Andy Reid is with the clock.
Oh.
One of the worst with time management, seriously. And we've seen it hurt him in playoff games before.
Yeah.
You know, coaching the Chiefs and Chiefs, I should say, in recent years. You know, but yeah, tough opening night for the Pats. Huh? I mean, they raised that banner. They made fun of Goodell with the clown shirts and the towels.
Yep.
But in the end, the joke was on the Pats. They did not come ready to play, and I'm going to tell you that fourth in inches play on their second possession. I don't know if you saw any of the game. So the Pats came out and they scored. They got the ball back.
Yeah.
And then there was a 4th and 1 play. They didn't QB sneak it. I don't know why. I mean, the success rating with that with Brady is, I think, like 80%.
Yeah.
That's like 100%. I mean, 80% in the NFL is practically 100%. That's like
good.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
They do a draw.
Yep.
On 4th and 1. Not even close. To be honest with you, at that point in the game, that's almost like the Pats trying to do an 07 where we're just going to steamroll over everybody. I wasn't even happy to see them go for it. I would have liked them to just kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Then what do you do? Because the Chiefs weren't doing anything against the Pats defensively in those first 2 drives. The Pats really had control, especially after they ran down and they scored on that first drive. Now what you do, you give the momentum right back to Kansas City. The whole game changed. From that moment, the whole game changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One play can sometimes affect the entire game. And you know, the thing is before Edelman went down, I will be honest.
That's a tough hit.
There were some thoughts during this offseason that, hey, you know, look what we did in the Super Bowl without all the weapons they just got, without a healthy Gronk, right? Who knows? Maybe 19-0 really is a possibility, right?
Yeah.
You can't. I can't deny that crossed my mind. Did I think it was realistic?
Oh, I think it crossed everybody's mind.
I'm sure.
First thing.
Did I think it was realistic? No, because I think offensively there still will never be a better team than 07, and they couldn't do it in 07.
Yeah.
So the bottom line, though, is did I think that they would win on opening night? Yeah. So I was surprised how it turned out. But at the same time, it's one game.
Yeah.
It's one game. And Kansas City has beat up on you before.
It's nothing new.
So,
it's football.
Yeah, it's football. It's one game. Got to come back and bounce back from it. It'll be a tough week 2 against the Saints down in New Orleans for the Patriots. But, hey, a little NFL talk there has brought us to the end of the third quarter. But Somerset-Berkley is still totally in control, 28-0 the score. They've held Durfee off the board. A couple turnovers have not helped the Hilltoppers' cause. We have another player down on the field at about the 15-yard line.
This isn't looking good.
Nope. And Somerset-Berkley is in the red zone again looking for their 5th TD. So really has not been the opening night that anybody would have hoped, especially with all the hype.
Yep.
Waiting for football after the big Thanksgiving Day win last November. This is absolutely the worst thing that the fans could have hoped for and that the team could have hoped for on opening night, getting to play at home on opening night. Good news for the Hilltoppers is they will be home the next 2 weeks as well. They're going to host Taunton next week in week 2, and then week 3 they will host Wellesley. That game, take note, folks, that game will actually be Saturday night at 7 o'clock, not Friday. And that is because Wellesley, I'm not sure, I wasn't given any reasoning, but Wellesley cannot play Friday night for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure, but I was simply told that it will be a Saturday night game.
I think that ambulance is for A.B. Madrano. He's coming out with a brace.
Well,
Oh, that's a camera. I thought it was a brace.
yeah, I was going to say that's a camera. The ambulance is taking off now from the parking lot.
She's still dealing with him, though, so that doesn't look good.
No. That camera is, I think that might actually be Eyewitness News. That might be WPRI. It looks like J.P. Smollin's down there.
Tackle made by number 57.
JP, I actually interned at Channel 12, so I got to work a lot with JP and in the sports department. And he makes the trip down here for the Friday night sports wrap. Oh, a fire truck came.
Wow.
The ladder came in, a cop car. So something happened. There must have been an accident or something in the parking lot because look at the moon coming up over the scoreboard too. Yeah,
that's a nice looking
big
moon.
orange autumn moon here, even though it's summer, almost like a harvest moon. But yeah, JP comes down from Channel 12 a lot. They do the Friday night football wrap over there at WPRI, and they try to hit like 12 to 15 games between him and the other two reporters in the sports department. They're running around to all kinds of different games.
Hectic.
Oh, it's crazy. It really is, and they do love coming to Durfee. Because a lot of times they hit Tiverton. They'll hit Tiverton or Portsmouth, something in the area. I mean, we're close enough to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And they usually come here for a couple games a year. This is always a big, a big crowd seller, if you will. This is a rivalry game, so.
Yeah, speaking of the crowd, even though the Hilltoppers are down big, doesn't look like anybody really left. Looks like the whole crowd is still here.
I mean, I'd say it thinned out just a little bit on the aisle, like the walkway. Yeah. But for the most part, yeah, it's still a pretty good crowd here at Durfee High School, which, as we expected, everybody has fun. The students have a blast. They're watching, but they're not. It's also a night out.
Yeah.
Just to hang out with friends and stuff like that. So. And as quickly as the big moon just showed its face over the trees, it's going up into a cloud now. We're losing it, but we got to see last. I think last fall was probably the most picturesque in terms of like the Friday night games that I did, and some of the soccer games. We had some full moons, some real clear nights like tonight with the sunset. I mean, you had like a purple sky almost to the east with these big full moons coming out. It was wild. I mean, it was really cool. In fact, if you go to our Fred TV Sports Facebook page, our cover photo is actually a panorama I took from a soccer game here last fall at dusk. And you can see the moon coming up almost towards the bell tower and the clock tower here on the left side. It's a wild picture. So while you're there, like and follow our page. Like and follow our page. Always a good time. We put up a lot of good stuff. It's a good page to have. We put all the Fall River sports. And we can show, see Zach can see here. Isn't that wild?
That is pretty cool.
Isn't that wild?
That's pretty nice.
And we'll see if we can show the camera. There's our cover photo for the Fred TV Sports Facebook page. Look us up on Facebook, like and follow us. We post all the games up there, some articles, some scores, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Meanwhile, Durfee has a big run.
Yep, big run for the Hilltoppers coming back.
Right.
They have possession. And Madrano is still, though. Is that Madrano down on the ground still? No, actually, that's double digits. Is that Roque, 57? He was on the sidelines. He was still on the sidelines.
30-yard line.
Yep.
He's still stretching out. Man, I'll tell you, some big names for Durfee going down here in week one. Been a nightmarish first game for the Hilltoppers.
Well, with a game like this, it can only get better from here, right? You hope so.
Yeah, that's at least the thinking. You're right.
Madrano has ice on what seems to be his calf.
Yep.
Set him back 5 and play first down and long. The 25.
Minimal gain on 1st and 15 for the Hilltoppers. They'll bring up 2nd and 13. Only a 2-yard gain there. And again, you know, there's no sense of urgency because this is not a very close game right now, as we know. It's 28-0. So this is where you want to get on the scoreboard for sure. I mean, you're not done playing.
No.
You're never done, right? You play to the final bell, final whistle. However, this is the time now you work on some things too. Maybe back to basics a little bit. That looked like Malave who came down with it, but only got a couple yards. The pass, you know, Franklin drops back. You know, on a pass, you drop back about 5 or 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So looked like a 10-yard pass. He really only gained 2 or 3 yards. So that's a short pickup there. It'll be 3rd and 10 from the 30. You know, we line up with 3 wide receivers on the near side in a 3-on-2 battle. Looks like we're going to target one of them. Franklin scrambling. He is free for the moment.
Oh, he's
trying to cut in, and he's tackled.
Number 10.
Practically the entire Raiders defense was on him.
Yeah, he could not get free. And in fact, he's going to lose 1.5 yards, so that's a sack for the Raiders defense. So 4th and 12. And we're going to assume Durfee's going to punt.
Nope.
Yeah, the player in the backfield there, not deep enough to receive a snap for a punt. So it looks like they're just going to go for it. They need 12 yards. Pockets collapsing. Nobody there. And a turnover on downs inside the 30. For the Hilltoppers. Somerset-Berkley gave up the ball in the red zone. Durfee gives it back in their own territory. And the Blue Raiders will have it 1st and 10 from the 29 of the Hilltoppers. 6:48 to play. The 4th quarter moving along quite quickly. We haven't really seen a lot of stoppages. The Blue Raiders are in command right now. And Zach, as we get close to the end of this opening night game, I mean, there are a lot of things that Durfee is going to have to work on. But if there's maybe one thing that sticks out, I mean, you know football. What do you think? What are you seeing from this team? I mean, we saw some good signs of life in certain aspects, but then
that right there, too many flags for the Hilltoppers. They're giving them too many extra possessions, not capitalizing on Somerset-Berkley's mistakes.
Well, that flag actually, though, was on the offense, so Somerset-Berkley had the false start. But, yes, there were a lot of penalties. And, again, maybe that comes with some of the inexperience getting back into the game, right?
Yeah.
Because they haven't played in a while, haven't played since November. This was the first night, so that could be part of it. What I would like to see from Durfee is, and obviously this will come with time as well, is just a little more consistency.
Yeah.
Right? At least get something developed and established in the game. Something. Oh, that's a fumble. A bad snap. That's going to be a loss of almost 25 yards. You know, like I said, establish something, right? I'm talking offense. Establish either a running game or a passing game. Just get something where you have some consistency and you have a rhythm and you have a go-to, if you will, right?
Yeah.
When you're calling a game, right, you're catching a pitcher. A pitcher's got to have a go-to pitch if he's struggling, right? Maybe he's established his fastball, but he's not feeling the breaking balls. All right, so we go back to the fastball. Got to get a strike, right?
Got to get him back on top.
Yeah, let's say you're down in the count, 2-0, right? Where's that go-to pitch to get you that strike? Same thing with football.
Absolutely.
Here. Establish something and build off of that. Somerset did that tonight. They established the running game. They said, we're going to run it down your throat. We're going to do our triple option play here, whatever you want to call it, three-man option, whatever you want to call it. It works.
Yep.
They've developed it. Then they started throwing the ball. Say, hey, guess what? We got something else for you, Durfee.
Surprise.
And it resulted in 3 touchdown passes. So this is the kind of thing. So because they had the run, though, established and had Durfee thinking run, they can throw the ball. Someone's going to be open. There's a flag down again. Another flag. Right at about the 50. They're pointing towards the D, so I think this is on Durfee. And it is. The moon has reappeared.
The winner of the 50-50 raffle can pick up your prize at the concession stand. That is ticket
That's pretty cool.
912-8504. Once again,
Oh, and Gary's going to show you the moon. What a guy.
Oh, the bell tower in there. Just look. That's a beautiful picture.
Hanging over the scoreboard on the left there, the moon peeking through the cloud. Looks like something you see on Halloween, right?
It's kind of creepy. Kind of eerie looking.
Very cool. Gary says like a Bob Ross painting. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Bob Ross.
Nice couple happy little clouds going through the moon.
This is your world. You can add birds if you'd like.
There you go. Oh, that's great. Another flag. Why not? They love the yellow stocking. I'll tell you.
They're just throwing it left and right.
Man, we've seen a lot of flags tonight. Let's not forget, Somerset's gotten back about 20 yards from after that fumble. And that one is also on the defense, so they'll move even closer to the original line of scrimmage. Ay, 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 ay. Just under 4.5 to play in the game. And this penalty is moving them way down the field. In fact, it's going to be enough for a first down, I believe. Or it's going to be 3rd and inches. What do we do? We move in the... So it was 3rd down. Now we're seeing the ball past the line to gain. Spotted past the line to gain, and it says 4th down. They haven't moved the chains. The scoreboard says 1st and 10. And I'm going to just be honest. I'm thoroughly confused.
Yeah. No word yet from the PA.
Needless to
any
say,
of those flags
1st down, and somehow, with a little bit of help, I guess, from Durfee, Somerset-Berkley erased what was a loss of about 23 yards on a fumble. They still get the 1st down. That cannot happen. That absolutely cannot happen.
At the 15-yard line.
And that kind of tells the story of how things have gone tonight for Durfee, unfortunately. So with 3:30 to play, Somerset-Berkley does get that 1st down. They had to go almost 40 yards to get it. And they are now in the red zone again. They've scored on every trip into the red zone except for that last one when Durfee took over. And again, there's no sense of urgency either here because of the score the way it is. So Somerset will take their time, use the whole play clock. So we come up on 2.5 now. This game will wind down probably rather quickly here as long as we don't have any more penalties or I should say flags or a stoppage in play for an injury or something like that. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Might have been a loss of a yard even.
Number 8, Chase Shoves on the tackle for the Hilltoppers. As well as number 59, Richard Cabral. 3rd down. Long.
So 3rd and 11. They did lose a yard. They lost a couple of yards actually, but they lost a yard off of the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 11. Right at the 15, or just behind the 15. 90 seconds to play on opening day. Somerset-Berkley going to start 1-0 on the season. Durfee going to drop to 0-1. Going outside, touchdown, Blue Raiders. Jacob Rebello, a senior, gets his first touchdown of the night, the 5th for Somerset. And that's only the 2nd rushing touchdown. The first one came back in that first quarter. That's a 15-yard dash for Rebello. And I think that's going to send some of the crowd heading to the gates.
That's just about the end.
That's kind of the icing on the cake there.
That's the dagger.
They're going to kick it here. Why not? I mean, go for the true football score, 35.
I mean, what do you have to lose if you're Somerset-Berkley?
Well, exactly. You're up 34-0. They kick it, and it looks like it was good.
It was good.
Extra point is good.
That makes it 35-0. Somerset-Berkley. That's a lopsided score right there.
Total domination.
With a $1:20 on the clock. And that does send a lot of folks heading now to the exits. Tough night for Durfee. Real tough night. This is probably one of the worst games we've seen over the last couple seasons, not going to lie. I mean, again, it's opening night. Some teams excel opening night. Honestly, Durfee's record in my time doing these games on opening night, I think they only have one win, and that was the second year facing Conley on opening night. So not a good record, at least in my time doing these games. It's going to be a 1-5 record on opening night over these last 6 years. And again, like I said, some teams really excel opening night, some teams don't. Durfee, maybe not a good opening night team.
Wow.
You know? And I'm just saying that there's different players every year, so I'm not saying that it's anyone's fault necessarily. But I feel Durfee has been a team that always improves as the season goes on.
Yep.
Again, at least in my time doing these games, last year was a great example of that. And the year before even was a really good example of that. Eli Brooks' year.
Yep.
Right, when he had his 2000th yard, right? They finished the season averaging over 30 points a game, and they were 3-1 in the last 4 games coming into the game against New Bedford here. And they got steamrolled by New Bedford. Mm-hmm. But again, they started slow, had a tough midway point of the season. They had the Dartmouth, the BR, the Brockton games, always tough.
A tough stretch of games.
Always in the middle. And then they kind of hit that turning point, and then they finished the season strong. Last year was the same thing. Started slow, hit a little middle rough patch, and then really excelled down the stretch. So the bad news with that is you're not going to make the playoffs if you're having a rough, first 4 games.
Yeah.
first 5 games. The good news is that you finish strong, and now you have some momentum heading into Thanksgiving. So it's kind of a catch-22. You know, but my point is that I think, like the teams we've seen in the past who have had bad opening nights. I mean, we saw Barnstable come in here and beat us. I think it was 55-6 a couple years ago, and that was the start of one of those winless seasons. It was ugly. I mean, that far worse than a 35-0 loss, 55-6.
Yeah, that is.
You know, that was awful. So the good news, like you said, is that we'll assume that things can only get better from here. And based on the track record, I would have to say that this team will grow. They will get better. Again, you're playing with a backup quarterback to somebody who only started half the season last year.
A lot of new faces.
Canto, yeah, who's now starting injured. So you're going to your backup QB. You lost players due to injury part of the game. Some of them had to come out. So not the way Durfee wanted to start, but this is not going to be the way that they're going to finish the season. I have no doubt about that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Passing it up the middle. Picked off. Third pick of the game for Somerset-Berkley. That was Rebello. It looked like number 10, and it is. So 3 interceptions for the Hilltoppers thrown tonight, and then the 1 fumble on their second snap of the game as well. Second play from scrimmage. So 4 turnovers for Durfee. That's something they have to limit as well. And, you know, even look at the team. Somerset-Berkley is a bigger team than Durfee. Size, they're big.
Yeah.
Big kids, you know. So with 33 seconds, Somerset-Berkley will have the ball at the 34 of Durfee. They lead 35-0.
Another player was just on the ground, got back up, coming off the field.
Yeah, it's been a rough night. I can't say I would not want to be at practice this week.
Or in the locker room after the game.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be a tough one to sleep on for the Hilltoppers football team. Would imagine a kneel right now.
That would make a lot of sense. I think they should. Yeah, they should.
Now their clock would just run out.
Yeah, there's no reason to try to put any more points up.
Yeah.
Because the game's over. So that knee is good enough for the play clock to run it down. And with 10 seconds to play, this one will go final.
Thank you. Have a safe ride home.
In 5 seconds, it'll go final. They will congratulate Somerset-Berkley and say nice game. And shake hands at midfield. Durfee drops opening night. They are shut out at home 35-0 at the hands of Somerset-Berkley, who improves to 3-0 against Durfee on opening night. Over the last 3 years, they've really had the Hilltoppers' number. And this one probably the most dominating, being able to keep Durfee off the scoreboard. But again, as we mentioned just moments ago, is that, you know, Durfee's working with, you know, a new quarterback. They lost some pieces in the offense to graduation last year. So it's a different looking team. It's not the same cast of characters as last year. There are a lot of returners, but it's going to take some time.
The core is pretty much.
I know. Whenever you change quarterbacks, it's always tough. It's always tough. They have good pieces. They do have good players. And, again, this is not, you know, where Durfee's going to be at the end of the season. There's no way for that to happen. It won't happen because the coaching staff here and the players are too talented. Durfee will get off to a better start, hopefully next week against Taunton. They've had some good success against Taunton.
Taking the game last year, so.
Yeah, and actually even the year before that.
Yeah.
And they did that at Taunton. So Durfee's had some success against the Tigers. See how they do next week. Before that game, we have a couple other games coming to you on Fred TV next week, including some Big 3 action, field hockey, and soccer here at Mac Aldridge Field late next week. So look for those games before next weekend as well. Final score from Mac Aldridge Field is 35-0. Somerset beats Durfee. For Gary Leet behind the scenes, Zach Souza, I'm Evan Massoud. We'll see you soon.